Hey, 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 this is Mary at Mary Unapologetic. Today is Tuesday, and I thought that, you know what? I'm going to be on time because um, the last time I was on a podcast, actually, it was just last week with Ray, I said that I'm making an effort to be on time. And so, folks, today's Tuesday, it's 5 o'clock sharp, and I am live. Anyways, this topic today is going to be about motivation. And the reason being is because we have, I actually probably heard it. And that's what prompted me to do like an episode about motivation. Okay. And then not only that, folks, before we start, I just want to say this is my podcast number 60. Yay. Podcast number 60. Uh-huh. As well as what this episode is going to be about. Well, it's what motivates you every day. And it, I've been thinking, well, I've been doing a lot of thinking lately, okay? Because I'm like reevaluating again my life and my purpose now, because I have kids that are going to college or one is already in college. So I figured, you know what? I think it's time for me to reevaluate where I need to go again. And then not only that, I'm asking myself what motivates me, right? Or what motivates other people. So it's just so fitting that I want to do an episode on this. But before we start, I just want to remind folks out there, whether you are my listeners here in the country or let's say out of the country, I know that I have friends that are listening from the Philippines. So I hope you guys are tuned in now. They actually tuned in much earlier when I was doing a testing. Just want to make sure that my system here is working because last time it wasn't working at all. But anyways, um, I just want to say hi to some of my friends, Sarah, Cindy, and I hope my sister also tune in. Shout out to my sister, Michelle. Anyways, for those folks that are listening over here that are also going to MTE, I just want to say that we want to see you at Mobile Tech Expo. It happens in our it's basically a convention in Florida that happens every January. And this time around, I believe it's going to be January 26th. That's actually the first day of education too. That's going to be a Thursday. I will be speaking at 8 o'clock, and Mike will be speaking at 3 o'clock. We would like to see you that. We would like to see you guys there and say hi. If we don't see you, well, maybe next time. Okay, so let's go ahead and start this podcast. Like I said, I've been thinking, I'm like, I need a new purpose in life because before it was like raising my kids right, making sure they have a sport, not so many sports, because if you give them too much, they can't focus, right? They can't give their 110% committing to what it is that they need to commit to. So I only gave them one sport. One sport to focus on, which is swimming. So one of my kid is already in college, and I have another one that's going to be in college next year. So now it's time for me to reevaluate my life again. What do I want again in life? I need to have a new purpose. I still have a little one, but she's got a long way to go before she goes to college. So in the meantime, what do I need to do between now and when my little one's ready to go to college? Because I need to have a new purpose in life. You know what I mean? I mean, if you guys never really question yourself, what is your purpose in life? Well, you're probably, I don't want to speculate, but you probably need to reevaluate and self-reflect and ask yourself, are you happy? Are you happy at anything you do? Especially if you're business owners, it's kind of hard to be happy when you're juggling with a lot. You're trying to run your business and then you're trying to make sure you're also running your home life successfully, as well as not losing yourself as a person, being yourself in a marriage, right? So juggling with all of this can be, I would say, challenging. So for me, what I usually find works best is to always reevaluate what I want in life and have a goal or goals. I mean, you can have more than one. Sometimes I have multiple. I have multiple, and I'm pretty sure some people out there have multiples too. Now, I heard this recently, and somebody asked actually, you know, I need to focus. I need new ideas. I need some clarity in my mind. Uh, I need to be inspired again because I lost my passion on this. Whatever it is that person is doing. So therefore, that person is kind of like, I guess, at a standstill as far as where that person needs to go. So when I heard that, I was like, oh my gosh, I maybe once in a while I question myself regarding this topic, but I realized that there are other people out there that are really, really lost. And so I was like, trying to analyze it. And yes, folks, if you really know me, if you really know the Mary Toledo, I'm a very analytical person and I'm a problem solver. Well, you have to be analytical if you're a problem solver, and I am that. So for me, I'm always trying to find answers to anything that's like I'm questioning in order for me to feel at peace. And so that person, or when I heard that comment by someone, I was like, okay, I've been hearing these things that people have been saying, that you have to have a passion in order for you to be good at what you do, or in order for you to motivate yourself from going to work every day, or even like making, I guess, little win in life, little wins that we do in life, such as, whether you're accomplishing your task for today. So I call it little win, right? So that prompted me to ask myself, I don't know if there's some truth to that 100%, that you have to have passion at what you do to be successful or to even motivate you. I mean, I know they go hand in hand, right? So I started asking myself, is it passion, or passion and motivation are different in order for you to be motivated to do stuff every day, or to even go to work, get up and go to work every day? Or I know some people out there, because I've been through it, where there are days that you just don't want to get out of bed. And you're kind of like, oh, I got to go do some stuff. I know I have stuff on the back burner, but do I really want to do it? I'm not in the mood to do it. I have those moments because I'm only human, right? But here's the thing, folks. I think what I think passion and motivation are two different things. To some people, they said they're the same thing. You can't be motivated if you don't have passion. But I don't necessarily agree on that 100%. And the reason being is because I have worked in the past where my passion is not in my line of work, but I know I still have to be motivated because I need to go to work and make the money to pay my bills, right? So I know for a fact that at the time when I was working at that field, it wasn't my passion, but I have to be motivated to go to work every day. So what I found out is to find an inspiration, to find a purpose in it, of what it is that I am doing. So for people out there, I know people might hate me because they're going to say, no, 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 no. Passion is what motivates you. I don't, like I said, I like to challenge things, what people are saying out there. I don't necessarily agree to that statement 100%, because to me, like what I said, passion for me, the way I look at it, is short term. And then motivation will be a long term. So I'm going to go over that later on. But before we do that, I want to define what passion is, okay? Passion really is an intense in something. So if you think about it, you have a passion for something, it's very intense. It's an emotional thing. You want to work on it, you want to do it because you have a passion of doing it. But here's the thing, folks, if you're thinking that you have to be motivated to do work or go to work or to do whatever it is task that you need to get done, if you're thinking that you have to have a passion for it, what happens if the passion's not there anymore and you still have to do your task? What's going to motivate you? This is where I see that it should be separate. I know you guys might be lost, but just hear me out, okay? Don't be lost on it, on this. Follow me, folks. Follow me. Okay. So also passion is a desire, having the desire to do it because you enjoy doing it. So if your passion is, let's say, watching teleserie, like I have a lot of friends or people I know in the Philippines that they follow the teleserie, but then for the for the love of, what's that saying? Life of me or whatever, the love of whatever. God. I don't want to say God, because it's using God's name in vain. I don't want to do that. For the love of God, I just cannot find the passion to watch a teleserie. It to me, it's too drama and it's too fake. And I'm more leaning towards to what's realistic and what's real rather than watching something so dramatic and it's like, it's not solving my problem, like I said. But there are other folks out there, they like to follow teleserie, you know what I mean? Like every day they watch it. But anyway, so they have a passion. That's why they follow it. And sometimes they won't even miss an episode of it. I remember when Friends was so popular back in the 90s. I have cousins that are like every Thursday they were following it. And then they actually would also get stuff ready. And this is what they look forward to, just to watch the comedy series. And it's good, but I was so busy, folks, that I would watch it whenever I can. But if I'm doing something, I'm not going to drop anything that I'm doing just so I can sit in front of the TV for an hour and watch Friends. And don't get me wrong, folks, I follow Friends now. I mean, I'm so glad they're on demand that I don't, I can just like watch the rerun. But anyways, so that's what passion is, right? And also passion is um the individual, I guess passion is individually expressing it or individually express it in the moment. Like, that's why the word moment to me means short term, because if you are thinking that you have to have passion to go to work every day or to enjoy your work, then you're going to be screwed, because that's only going to be short term. Because once the passion is gone and you still have to work because you need to make money to pay your bills, what do you do then? You can't say that you lost your passion in your work because you still have to work. So for me, I found it to like separate it with motivation. And I usually stick to what's motivating me. So now let me define what motivation. Motivation is different than passion. That's just my opinion, okay? And other people's opinion, I'm not validating other people's opinion. So for me, I separate them. So for me, motivation is different than passion. And motivation is a desire to achieve a goal or result, or even goals, right? So and that's how way I look at it, folks. So if somebody were to ask me what motivates me to go to work every day, even when I'm sick or even when I'm not feeling like I want to go to work, then that is the answer for me. Is that I need to get a task done in order for me to move forward with my goals, or to move, to basically check off my list of things that I need to do, I need to motivate myself. I need to get up, motivate myself. Don't even think about passion. I mean, you have to have certain passion to do things. Yeah. But I think also um, passion has a lot to do with emotion. And for me, I learned how to control my emotion. I try not to be an emotional person because early on, I learned when I was in a psychology class, I took a lot of it, a lot of psychology, by the way, that emotion really can steer you in the wrong place. Emotion can steer you in a bad place sometimes if you're not making, right decisions, or if you are not even thinking clearly because your emotion is clouding your decision making. So that's why I separated my critical thinking and my emotion even. You guys might think I'm crazy, but there's a positive thing about this. When you can separate those, you can really, really solve problems. And for people that I think that are problem solver, they really know how to separate those two, their emotions with their critical thinking, you know. So that way they're always making right decisions because, like I said, emotion can steer you in the wrong or a bad place and you end up making bad decisions. Okay. So the question is really, do you have to have a passion to be motivated? I answered that earlier on, folks. Okay. My answer is no. To other people, yes. But I'll explain why. Um, for me, in order for me to be motivated, I have to have a purpose. And I find a purpose in what I do. So whether I have a project to do, I find a purpose in that. What my end goal is, and or what my goal that I'm trying to achieve. So when you find the purpose, then you find yourself motivated. Do you have to have passion to get the task done? Maybe to some extent, but I really don't have to. Like I said, I steer away from listening to my emotion. I'm more like using my head when I do this kind of stuff. And then also you're gonna have to once you find the purpose, then you're gonna end up thinking, okay, now you have clarity as to how to get the task done. Now this is when the problem solving comes in with you. Okay, when you have a purpose and you have clarity in mind as to how you're going to finish the task or how you're going to achieve the task, whether it's at work or a project that you're doing with, even at home project or work, then once you already have clarity of how to do it, how to execute the plan as to how to achieve what you need to do, then in the process, folks, in the process, that's when the passion's going to come in because you're going to discover all this stuff that you never knew that's part of the process. And, you know, no one can predict one thing, right, in life. So even if me trying to solve a problem or trying to do a project, in the process, you'll find something that you will never expect. And that's what's going to, give you, I think, passion, because if you enjoy it, then your passion is just going to start. You know, basically, it's going to start. And then in that moment, you're going to realize that, hey, I'm finding out things about me that I never knew before, that doing this process, whatever it is that you're trying to finish as far as task, you start enjoying doing it. And that you have to find the positivity on everything you do, folks, because I think if you have a negative emotion or negative notion of coming into whatever it is that you're trying to do, in the process from the beginning to the end, you're not gonna your mind or you yourself are not gonna enjoy it. The reason being is because you're already thinking negative going into it. So if you're thinking negative going into it, then the whole thing that what it is that you're trying to do is going to be negative. Like, for example, If I'm, let's say, going out with my friends and then I'm like, oh, I don't have anything to wear, but since it's last minute, I'll just go ahead, wear whatever I want to wear. I don't think I'm going to enjoy my night tonight, going out with my friends, whether it's going out in the restaurant or going in the club. Well, if you already have that mindset, guess what? For the rest of the night, you're not going to enjoy anything, even though the whole even though there's something in that experience that you should be looking at in a positive way, you're not gonna enjoy it. Because you're already looking at it in a negative notion or negative way. So my my philosophy is like, always find the purpose of what it is that you're doing or why you're doing it, so that way you can finish the task that you are trying to finish. Now, I mentioned purpose, right? Hold on, let me just drink. You're probably wondering, Mary, you keep talking about purpose, passion, and motivation. What purpose are you talking about? Because it's so vague. So I'm going to go into that. Okay. Folks, purpose is an understanding of not only what it is required for you to finish the task, but also what is necessary to finish the task. So if I have a purpose to finish a task, and that is my motivation to go to work and to enjoy my work, then I know what I need to do from beginning to end. Do I need to have a passion to do it? I think from my experience, to tell you the truth, folks, no. But I find the passion in the process as I am finding new things while I'm doing the process, that, hey, this is not that bad at all. I'm going to give you guys an example. I think in my previous episodes, I've talked about this customer that I had, that somehow her insurance is like a pain in the ass. It was like a pain in the ass. We were waiting for, well, they gave us first of all, they approved the work, but that was only for repair. But can't repair it. We need to replace it. So therefore, they shorthanded us as far as money, right? Okay, this is an insurance claim, folks. I'm gonna make an example so you guys can understand where I'm coming from as far as the purpose. So I knew going into this, it's like dreadful, and it's like, oh, I hate dealing with insurance companies. You know what I mean? But I had to do it because no one's gonna do it. So is it my passion to to tackle on the task? No, but what motivated me to do it is I want to help the person, the customer who was given a hard time from her insurance company as far as getting her car repaired. She waited 30 days, and I thought that was crazy. And then when it was like 60 days, I was like, oh my gosh, this is unbelievable. This is unacceptable. I have to make it happen for this woman. And so I told myself I had to have a positive mindset. I told myself, this is not just going to be an easy task to do. It's going to be a challenge. And actually, some of the people that heard my podcast previously regarding this topic had told me they DM me that, oh my gosh, just listening to you talking about dealing with insurance company, it's like a headache. Folks, it is a headache. Now, don't get me wrong. Not everyone, hold on, folks, my phone is ringing. Oh, a customer. It's a customer, by the way, that called me earlier before I got on the podcast, and she's calling me again. I told her to call Mike. But anyways, going back to this, I found a purpose, and my purpose was to help her, because I felt bad that she was, I don't know, she was given a hard time. Not that they put her in the back burner, because they were still entertaining her, but they were giving her a hard time. And my office person was inexperienced dealing with insurance companies. So therefore, I took that task. It's a big task, actually. I took it off from her desk for me to tackle it. And the reason being that I decided to do this is because I found a purpose. I need to help that customer. And so when I actually dealt with it, at the end of the day, I think it took us like 2.5 months, close to 3 months after everything's said and done, but I got it done. So in the process, when I was dealing with the insurance company, I found out that there's so many different steps. There was like, they're trying to make us jump the hoop, and, you know, problem, with certain things on their end, not my end. You know what I mean? Like they're saying, oh, we never received the documents we need from you. So I have to resend it to them again and then follow up, to make sure they got it. And then even after I followed up, I needed to talk to a certain person. So that way I can just be working with one person one-on-one rather than talking to many different people. That's going to be frustrating to me. Um, it's like a lot of going back and forth. And I knew they were trying to give me a hard time because they think that if they give me a hard time, that I'm going to give up. And I said, no way, Mary doesn't give up. I'm not that easily swayed into something that I decided that I'm going to finish. And I decided, in the beginning from the get-go, that I'm going to see to it that this customer get help, that, that the insurance will cover for her repair 100%, and that everything is going to be approved, right? Some people would just give up and then just like move on to the next one, but that's not me. That's not just me. So anyways, in the process, I learned that, I learned that I can be very patient, and I can actually work with people that are, that are impossible to work with, right? Because I'm telling you, folks, this particular insurance company is like nothing can top this insurance company. And even Mike was telling me, why are you still like dealing with them? Why, da 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 da. And I said, you know what? Because I want to prove something to these people, that you guys are not just going to sway us this easily. And not only that, you guys are not going to do this to this customer, because it's just not right. I guess it's the principle behind it. So I decided during the process that I'm going to find something positive in it, and something that I'm going to look forward to, so I can see to it that the task gets done. And it did. And it was rewarding. After we got everything approved and we got her car repaired, it was rewarding to me, because I know that I made a difference, a positive contribution. I made a difference in someone else's life. I help that woman. So that's what I'm saying about purpose, guys. Okay. A purpose could be anything. It could be like, let's say, I'm going to use Mike as an example. Lately, he's been taking Gabby to school in the morning, and then I pick up Gabby. I mean, normally it's not such a big thing, but Gabby goes to this particular school that is like 30 miles away from us. So back in the old days, I did it all, with the teenagers, drop off and pick up. But now he's doing it with Gabby. And so I'm like, he's dropping off Gabby and I pick up Gabby. So I think, if Mike really would look at it, he can say that, hey, I enjoy dropping off Gabby, because Gabby actually enjoyed, her dad taking her to school. She likes it because she said she's always on time. Yes, folks, I'm always late. I'm always in a hurry and in a rush, because I'm trying to do everything before I leave the house, so that way I'm not going back and forth, right? So, because in the long run, this is going to be the most productive for me. But when you go back and forth, or you, let's say you forgot something at home, you go back and forth, then at the end of the day, you're just making it, I guess, worse for you. So for me, before I leave the house, I make sure I have everything. So I only leave the house one time, and I don't have to come back and then leave again. No. But anyway, so Gabby enjoyed that, and she really likes it. And actually, I haven't talked to Mike about this. I should probably talk to him, that, that little Gabby looks forward to having dad take her to school, not because it's dad, it's because dad gets her there on time. So in the process, Gabby is relying on dad to take Gabby to school on time. And I think right there would be a good purpose for Mike to why he should take the kids to school all the time. Well, in this case, it's just Gabby now, because the other two drives now. But anyways, it's good to, I mean, if you look at it, really, it's good to have someone depend on you and rely on you, and then to know that you're making a difference in someone else's life, right? So that could be another purpose that you can think about. Other people actually look at it, as hey, if I make a difference in this world or in someone else's life, that is a good purpose for someone. I've heard of it before many times. Let's see here. Let me just take a quick break because I'm running out of breath here, just talking away. Let me drink some water here. Okay. Now, why is it important to find purpose every day of what you do as far as work? When the purpose is understood, work has meaning. Remember that, folks. When the purpose is understood, work has meaning. And without a purpose, work becomes boring. You know what I mean? And I think I learned this early on when I was trying to figure out why I'm still going to work, even though I hated work. When I used to work at this field. I don't want to mention what it is because I don't want to offend anyone. But I used to work in this industry. I felt like that at that time. I felt like I was like, oh my gosh, I need to go to work because I got to pay my bills. But do I really enjoy it? No, there was no enjoyment for me anymore. But what I did though, to be able to work in that field for many years, I think I did it for like 6 years, maybe. Yeah, I did it for 6 years. What I decided to do at that time is to find the purpose, or to understand why I'm doing it, and to have a different outlook on this job, so that way I can enjoy it. Because I know I can't just quit. If I quit, obviously, then that means what? What am I going to do? Find a different field to go into and work? Well, at that time, if you have no experience in that particular field that you're going to do, you're going to have a hard time finding the job because it's very competitive. I mean, the times change now. It's different now. There's a lot of jobs open out there. So this would be the good time to kind of experiment, I guess, and change your field of work if you want to do that. But back then, to get a job or to change the field as far as line of work that you do, you have to have some kind of experience, because if you don't, then you're competing with other people that have extensive experience in the field. And so I couldn't change right away. I had to plan for it. So going back to understanding your purpose, then your work has meaning. But if you don't understand why you're doing at your work, or why you're doing what you're doing, then it becomes boring because there's no goal to achieve. There's no understanding that, hey, I need to get this task done. Therefore, I'm going to try everything in my power to get this done. I've seen or heard people say, you know what? I don't have the passion. I don't have any passion of what I do anymore. Therefore, I'm lost, or I don't even like what I do anymore. No, folks, you can't say that. I'm telling you, you can't say that. I don't have any, I just don't like to hear that, I guess. I don't have a passion of what I do anymore, so I don't enjoy my work anymore. You can't say that. That's a mindset, folks. It's a mindset. You know what I mean? Oh, but anyways, I did some reading, and I told you, knowing what I know about psychology, I know how to research stuff. And what I found is that there's actually studies that had been done or performed about this. And then the studies also, they have done experiments, like controlled environment experiments. So that way they can just figure out the answer to these questions. What motivate people every day to go to work? And it's not even just motivate people every day to go to work. How about what motivate you to raise your kids the right way? Because not every parents out there are good parents that are motivated to raise their kids the right way, right? Some parents doesn't even care about raising their kids or how they should raise their kids. I happen to worry about that because I want to raise good kids. I want to raise good adults that are not menace in society. So, and I want to raise kids that are my own kids, folks, by the way, that are confident in themselves, that have self-esteem, that can solve problem easily, so that way they find meaning in life. So, and they won't be discouraged to tackle any problem that can face them in the future or once they become adults. So, anyways, what I found out is that there are 3 real reasons that motivates us to work hard. And what they are autonomy. And I'm going to explain to you guys what autonomy is, okay? Oh my gosh, contact lenses. Hold on. Contact lenses is just like acting up right now. So for the first one is autonomy. The second one is mastery. And the third one is purpose. Again, purpose is right there. And autonomy is when you desire to work on your own, when you desire to do things by yourself, when you desire to enjoy what you're doing by doing it yourself rather than someone's telling you, I guess, or rather than rather than when you don't know what you're doing and someone is guiding you. So there's no autonomy on that. So autonomy is being able to be self-sufficient. Second, the mastery. The mastery is an urge to get things done. So, like for me, I would say when I have a task to do, let's say tomorrow, because I'm going to the office tomorrow, I already have something in mind what I need to get done before I leave the office tomorrow. So I'm going in maybe a few hours, then I pick up the kid. So I already have in mind what I need to do. And even with that, I am already challenging myself that I need to get this task done in a timely manner before I even leave the office. So that's what mastery is. And then the purpose obviously is feeling that you accomplished something. So if I were able to achieve what I need to achieve tomorrow, then I met my purpose just for that day. And then that will make me feel good because I feel like I accomplished something, And so every day I try to do the same thing over and over, because when I accomplish something every day, it empowers me as a person or as an individual, and it makes me feel like I can do it again and repeat again over and over, tomorrow, the following day, and the day after the following day. So I feel like I'm accomplishing something as a person and I'm being productive. So when I'm meeting my goals, it's empowering me, folks. So that's what drives me to be motivated as far as what I do, or even just go to work. So these are something I read actually. And also, there's a psychologist out there. So it's a famous psychologist. Her name is Alice. Let me see here, Alice Eisen. Um, what actually she found is that when you have a positive outlook or positive moods, it facilitates your creativity as a person and help you with creative problem solving. Now, when you own a business and you're running your company, every day you're going to have problems that will challenge you. And it will challenge you as a business owner, because you have to solve that problem the right way. Because if you somehow just make a decision and solve the problem, I mean, there's a difference between solving a problem and solving the problem the right way. You have to solve the problem the right way, because if you don't, then you might create another problem that you are not expecting, right? So it's important to solve a problem the right way. It's like saying a good doctor knows how to diagnose you and solve the problem. Now, an average doctor or a regular doctor who doesn't really know, or maybe uh, not as experienced, will just diagnose your problem or your health. When I say problem, it's like your health problem, but then something might come out of it, or maybe might misdiagnose you. So it's important to, that's why I always say it's important to find a good doctor, because not all doctors are good. You want a good doctor to diagnose you properly. So same thing with your your emotion. So if you basically if you have a positive outlook and your mood is you have a positive mood when you go to work, then your day will just run smoothly. But if you somehow have a negative mood when you go in the office, then pay attention, folks. Then most likely you'll probably have a bad day, because you already went in the office with the negative mood. Your mood is already like not good. So that whole day is probably going to be like one problem after another. And you're going to you might not realize this, because unconsciously you're not thinking about it. But if you actually think about it, for the most part, I try to be conscious, especially when I'm doing decision making all the time. I try to be conscious. I try to be present and paying attention to what's around me. But if you're just like on autopilot and just doing things without thinking, then you're not doing things consciously. And I think when you actually do things consciously all the time, it will eliminate problems that might that might happen, that you didn't realize that it's there. You know what I mean? So anyways, and not only that, when you have negative emotions, it leads to thinking narrowly. And what are negative emotions? Negative emotions is like basically sadness, or fear of doing things, and maybe fear of trying new things, or or anything that's fearful to you. Now, don't get me wrong, there's a difference between being cautious and being fearful of something. Those are two different things, folks. Okay. Being cautious is you being strategic on certain things that you want to achieve, right? Whether it's a project or whether it's maybe your marketing, your marketing campaign, or maybe how you deal with your customers. You know, being cautious, that means you're being strategic. But if you are fearing of things, that means you have all this negative stuff in your mind and you don't even want to try it because you're fearful of something. And when you are to the extreme, you know as far as being fearful of something, it will affect your mood, and it will even affect your creative thinking. So you don't want to do that. You want to be always balanced. It's almost like the yin and yang. You have to find the balance in your life. And it's actually called, one of the stuff that I read was, it's called, let me just see, what is it? I have to write this because if I don't, I'm going to forget. Oh, the inner work-life balance. There's actually an article out there. It's called Inner Work-Life Balance. You want to actually practice that every day when you're at work. Now, doesn't matter if it's you who own the company or you work for someone. You want to balance between your autonomy, mastery, and your purpose. Because when you find balance and all of these are working together properly, then you find happiness in what you do. And when you find happiness in what you do, it will empower you. And when you're empowered, you can do anything. Emotion is such a strong thing in us. So if you can control your emotion, then I think you can control on how you make your decision on anything, or how you do your decision making, right? So if I think, folks, if you can control your emotion, it's best for you, because in the workplace, there's a lot of drama, whether you're a one-man person. Oh, no. There's a saying, what is a one-man show? Is that right? Maybe I messed that up. It's not a one-man band. Mike always laugh at me because I always mess up slogans and saying. I don't know. I should have my own comedy show just for this. You know what I mean? But anyways, going back to this, whether you're a one man show or you have people working for you, there's always going to be drama in a workplace, whether you own the business or not. You know what I mean? There's always going to be drama. So if you can control your emotion, then it's better for you in the long run. And that's actually, you should actually look at it too, as far as long term and short term. Like I mentioned earlier, what's the short term and the long term? For me, having a passion on what you do as far as work, to me, I'm looking at that as short term, because I gave you guys an explanation as to why. To me, it's short term. Now, but if you find motivation to do what you do, that would be a long term, success for you. It's also going to be a long term fulfillment, if you think about it, because passion is when you're like gung ho into doing something right now. But what happens if the passion is not there anymore? Then it's a short term fulfillment for you. That's why you need to find your purpose so you can be motivated in anything that you do, whether you like it or not. Then once you find the purpose and you're in the process, you'll find somehow some kind of passion, whether it's small, big, or whatever. You'll find something, right? And that you're going to end up getting your task done or achieving your goal. And that right there, I think, is a long-term fulfillment rather than the short term with, fulfillment. I think long-term fulfillment is better. So now, some people are probably wondering, Mary, what do you actually do? Because I had moments in the past too, folks, that I'm like, I drag myself out of bed and I'm like, I gotta go to work. And actually that happens a lot. That happened a lot when I was working in a different field other than business. I didn't know I actually love business until I was trying to finally make the final decision as far as what is my major in. I mean, I did my 2 year first, because I'm like, I need to get my lower division as far as college first, like English, math, chemistry, psychology, blah, 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 blah. So once it was getting close to me to make a decision, because I found out that nursing is not for me, then I was like, you know what? I'm going to do business. I mean, folks, if you really think about it, I could have gone into economics. I could have gone into accounting. I could have gone into other things. You know what I mean? But I said, you know what? What am I good at? And I realized when I actually did a self-reflection that I've always been around people that are entrepreneurs. As a matter of fact, the first entrepreneur that I've been around with in the past is my mom. We used to own a restaurant. And then when the restaurant went bankrupt, I talked about this in the past, folks. When the restaurant went bankrupt because she wasn't really managing it, sorry, mom, but you know what? This is the facts, right? She wasn't really managing it. She had people manage it for her, but then those people are really not there for her to win and be successful. They are there because they have their own ulterior motive. And so at a young age, I realized that, wow, the reason why she wasn't successful is because of the people that she surrounded herself with. And then the fact that she trusted those people thinking that they were on her side to make the business successful, but that's not really what happened. So once I realized that, hey, I'm going to try business, because if anything, I've been around business entrepreneurs. I mean, my boyfriends in the past, they own their business. I went out with someone who's very, very successful in business. And I saw how he ran his business and how he was a go-getter. And I don't think, as a matter of fact, I don't think whether he had a passion for his work or not, I don't think it was a passion for him either. I think it's just like the stuff that he needs to do to get things done. So that way he can achieve his goal, which is the end goal was for him to be successful in business, doesn't matter what it is, and to save money and to retire early. That was his goal. So whether he was going to do this particular business or not, he just needed to see to it that he achieved his goal, which is retire early. So to save money, right? Make money and retire early. So anyways, so that's when I realized that, you know what, I'm going to go into business because I've been around business people or entrepreneurs since I was a kid. And so while I was in the process, I realized I enjoyed it. It's like a natural thing for me, It's like I can, and the fact that I can solve problems that usually happens, in a company or even with customers, because I have extensive customer service. That was my first job, customer service. I used to work at Kmart. So for the folks out there who's probably as old as me, you probably heard of Kmart. I don't know if there's still Kmart because we don't have Kmart here in California anymore. It's actually Walmart now. But anyways, yeah, my first job was customer service and I learned a lot from that. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to try this. And then so once I'm in it, I actually enjoyed it. And the fact that I still enjoy helping people, helping them with their problems and solving their problems for them, because not everyone can solve their own problems. Somehow, for me, it's easy to unlock this stuff. It's like a puzzle. I can put the puzzle together just like that. You know what I mean? Because, like I said, I'm very analytical. That's why maybe I'm good at problem solving. So, anyways, if you guys are asking me what motivates me to go to work every day, and by the way, folks, yes, every day, especially with juggling with a lot of stuff. We have multiple business. It's not just one. And right there, right there is a challenge in itself. So, well, I find a purpose in what I do, whether I'm doing our marketing or answering, customers' inquiries or helping a customer, with their vehicle repair. I find a purpose in it. So when I find a purpose on what I'm doing, then I'm seeing to it that the task gets done. And when it gets done, then I feel good that I accomplished something. And then right there gives me the, self fulfillment that I can say, hey, it empowered me that I was able to finish this task today. Now, secondly, I also find inspiration in what I do. Like, how some people they say, okay, you can find inspiration in music, right? Listening to music. Sometimes actually, like when I used to I don't do it anymore, but when I used to clean my own house, because right now I just hire housekeepers to do it because I'm so busy I can't do it. But when I used to clean my own house, I would like listen to music and that will drive me even more to clean more. You know what I mean? I can do it for 2, 3 hours without complaining. Do I enjoy doing it? I think I find the enjoyment in the process once I add an inspiration into it. Like in this case is music, because it makes your, I guess, work or task gets done easily, or it makes you go through it quickly, just because you're not thinking that, hey, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. You know what I mean? You're keeping your mind occupied of something else. So find inspiration on what you do. If you guys actually listen, or actually if you guys watch Mary Poppins, and I made my kids watch it when they were kids, if you pay really attention to what she said, there was there was like it's not an episode. Maybe there it's not an episode. There's like in the movie, there's like a moment where the kids are supposed to clean their rooms, and she's teaching the kids that what to clean the room, it's good for you. It will, give you happiness. But then one of the kids said, no, 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 I hate cleaning the room, it's boring. And then that's when she said, if you find, or if you put some kind of an inspirational thing on what you do, then you will enjoy it. That's how I interpret it, folks. It's been a while since I watched Mary Poppins, but that's why you pay attention. You should watch it and listen to the lyrics of what she's saying when she does sing, because, it's a musical movie, right? So if you listen to the lyrics, you will like have the aha moments, like, oh, yeah, some people really hate cleaning, but if you find something that will inspire you to do it in the process of cleaning your house or whatever it is that you're doing, you will enjoy it. Find the enjoyment of what you're doing. I think that's the easiest way of saying it. Find enjoyment or whatever it is that you're doing, whether it's work or raising your kids or solving your kids' problem, because as a mother or as a dad, as a parent, depending on who the kid approach, if they have a problem, they can't solve it. Obviously, they complain to their parents, right? So find an enjoyment in that, and then it wouldn't bother you at all. You know what I mean? But so find an inspiration, and then I've talked about the purpose already, and then I've even heard it from other people that sometimes the purpose is helping others, making this world a better place, or making a difference in someone else's life. While I I am 100% agreeing to that, whether me trying to make a difference in my kids' life so they can be in the better better place when they become adults. I want them to be pretty autonomous and meaning independent, and be able to be a kind of person that's a go-getter. you know am I a go-getter? I think I am. Yeah, I think I am a go-getter, but there are other people or other folks out there that are not, because they have a fear of the unknown, or they have a fear of failing. To me, failing though is not, I mean, I know people will like kill me for saying this. To me, failure is not an option. You guys are probably going, Mary, that is not realistic, because people fail all the time on what it is that they do, right? But for me, I don't look at it as a failure. If I fail to do something, I just look at that as a hiccup. What I will do is actually try a different way of doing things in order for me to achieve what I need to achieve, whether that's work or something that I need to do for my family, or a problem that I need to solve. You know what I mean? I need to figure out a solution to get that task done or to solve that problem. It's it's how you see it, folks. It's your mindset. So I think with all of this stuff, even your emotion is a mindset. It's a choice if you think about it. It's a choice for you to be feeling gloomy and negative today. That will change your mood negatively. That is also a choice. That's a mindset. You know what I mean? So if you really think about it consciously, you can change that. You can switch that like a, like a light bulb, just turning it on and off. And that's what I actually do. Um, I see things sometimes when I'm like, when there's like a hurdle that I can't get past to or can get over. Um, I look at that as a challenge. And then when I see it as a challenge, then it motivates me to figure it out even more how to solve it. So don't look at it as like a negative thing, or don't look at it as like, oh, I can't think straight, or I can't even have mind clarity as far as how to like get past it. Don't look at it. Look at it as a challenge, folks. And when you look at it as a challenge and have a mindset that you're not going to give up, then you're going to change the outcome. You're going to end up solving that task or that challenge that you're having a problem with. Now, also, um, I think one of the things that motivates me and drives me to be able to finish the task is the faith of my belief that God will help me through this, especially if it's a big challenge, folks. There's a lot of obstacles in life that we're going to go through. Some of them are easy to fix, and some are not. And I myself last year was challenged. It was a big challenge for us, and so it was also a problem that I have to solve, because for us, for our business, and it was a challenge that I didn't even know what the outcome would be. But I knew what I know about business, and I applied that. And also, I was very, very consciously making the right decision and very strategic of what I need to do to get the outcome that I want, right? So when I solve our business problem, it was like a big reward for me, that I was like, oh, okay. It was like a self fulfillment that I accomplished it, that I didn't even think I was going to accomplish. And come with that too, folks, is like my emotion, trying to calm my emotion, talking to myself, thinking that, hey, God, if there is God out there, which I know there is, help me get through this. I can't I can't complain to anyone, right? So if you actually talk to someone up there, they will listen to you. Well, he will listen to you. So it's the faith that, hey, everything's going to be fine because someone's going to help me, someone with a higher power. And to me, that is like God. I always believe that there is a light at the end of the tunnel because God will help me out. So I think also believing in God, or having, to believe that there is God out there, is kind of like an assurance, folks, for your inner self to understand that everything's going to be fine. If you somehow don't have, I'm not forcing. Here's the thing: I don't want anyone to be offended. I'm not forcing people to believe in what I believe. Yes, I am Catholic, but I'm not forcing my religion to other people. I'm just saying that this is what helps me get through to hard obstacles in life. Like whether it's a hardship or big problem that we have in business, right? This is what gets me through. What's get me through to the other side of feeling okay, or having an assurance that everything's going to be okay. You have to have faith that everything's going to be fine. If you don't have any faith, in believing that there is something out there that's going to help you, then you're going to be lost. I've talked to a lot of people that are, that they don't have something to look forward to because they don't have any faith to believe in. If you don't have any faith to believe in, by the way, folks, you have nothing to look forward to. You're kind of lost on earth trying to figure out what your purpose in life. You have to know why you're here, or at least have some kind of understanding that you're here for a reason, that you have a purpose, and find that purpose, and you will be happy and fulfilled here in life. Okay, I've been here for an hour and 7 minutes. I hope you guys enjoyed what I shared. Let's see here. Let me see. I'm going to make sure I have covered everything, as far as my notes. Let's see here. I'm just going to look really quick. Let's see here. Oh, see, I know I'm going to forget something. That's why I make notes. Okay, so I talk about that. Okay. This is the big one, folks. This is the big one, okay? In life, I think you need to understand yourself. That's why you should do a self-reflection. You need to understand yourself, your strength and your weakness. And if you have a weakness, you need to turn that around and make it your strength. So that way, make it to work for you, right? So that way you will feel fulfilled, that you are getting better every day. You know what I mean? Excuse me. And part of that is that there's a big one when I say big one, because part of that is that I want to say that seeking other people's approval is really a short-term fulfillment. What's best for you in life is to just be you. You don't need to seek other people's approval. You need to understand yourself. And that's why I said understand your weakness and your strength. And then if you do have a lot of weakness, work on it little by little. Make it your strength. And then once you better yourself, improve yourself, then you're making a difference in your own life, and you're going to be empowered. And that right there, folks, is a long-term happiness, long-term fulfillment. You know what I mean? I have met people that are lost, I guess, lost in life. They don't know what they want to do. They don't know what they want, period. You know what I mean? So, or they'll try something and then they'll complain about it because they realize this is not, that's not what they want. So that tells me right there that they're looking for something that they can't find yet. And I think maybe because they're looking to all the wrong places. Maybe they should start within themselves. If you start within yourself to look at what you really want in life and who you are and understand yourself, then right there you will know how to solve your own problem, and you will know how to make yourself happy, that you don't need other people, you don't need other people's approval for your own fulfillment or for your own happiness. So I think with the times that we are in right now, with the social media, people, people have social medias, right? I have social medias myself, but I only do that. I only use it really for work. I don't use it because I need all the likes that people give me. That's just extra. And that is just, the way I look at it, it's like a surprise. You know what I mean? But really, you should express yourself the way you want to express yourself. Of course, it's within reason. If you're being stupid out there and you're putting stupid stuff out there that people are gonna read wrong, then that's not appropriate. It's not right. Don't do that. You need to put yourself in a position that's like there's accountability, and always, you know, do things in a high standard out there because people are watching. But anyways, yeah, don't don't rely on people, you know, giving you approval and doing stuff, because that's a short-term fulfillment for you and short-term happiness. That's not what you do. That's not what you want to do. um i think I think I'm gonna yeah, I think, folks, I have covered everything, from understanding yourself and understanding what should be motivating us as a person, every day, whether dealing with our family or going to work. And and for me, I explained to you guys that for me, my definition of passion and motivations are two different things. It's not the same. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I'm going to say goodbye until actually next time. Don't forget to also just like the button there and follow me, because I'm going to be putting out more stuff that is, I would say, awareness. I want to give you guys some awareness of of our decision making and who we are, I guess, as a person. Like, I've already covered business in this podcast. I've covered exercising, doing better. So now I'm trying to do and cover more about mental health, positivity thinking, and also how to improve and better ourselves. So I am almost done here. I see that we have listeners out there. Don't forget to rewind and watch the beginning of this, because I covered a lot on this 1 hour and 13 minutes. And folks, if you guys enjoy it, then come back 2 weeks from now. Tune in. It's always at 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time every Tuesday. No, every other Tuesday, because I have another podcast that I'm covering once a month. So, again, folks, my topic here, or the episodes that I cover on this podcast, is going to be different on my other podcast. So don't forget to follow me. And I'm saying goodbye. Oh no, I'm so in tune with my. Oh, So I'm so in tune on what I'm saying that I didn't see Jack's comment. Well, if you're still here, Jack, I'm saying hi to you. I hope you're still listening. I'll probably bring you on next time, Jack. Okay, folks, I'm saying goodbye.